Hello! Today we'll be talking about Mime Jr., the first fairy type and dual type Pokemon to have Psychic be the primary type, and only Psychic fairy type Pokemon introduced in Gen 4. Although, prior to Gen 6, it didn't have the fairy type. Its previous PYC dates are May 10th, 1997, February 29th, 2000, December 20th, 2002, October 10th, 2005, July 31st, 2008, May 22nd, 2011, March 12th, 2014, December 31st, 2016, October 12th, 2019, and August 12th, 2022. I most know Mime Jr. as one of the Pokemon James has in the Gen 3, 4, and 8 eras of the anime. I think it's funny that instead of being based on a mime, like its evolution Mr. Mime, Mime Jr. is based on a clown. Anyway, let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Mime Jr., the mime Pokemon, whose number is 0439. This is what it looks like. Its type is Psychic Fairy, abilities, Soundproof or Filter. Technician is its hidden ability. Gender ratio is 50-50. Catch rate is 145 or 28.7%. Breeding is egg group. No eggs discovered. Hatch time 25 cycles. Height is 2 foot or 0.6 meters. Weight is 28.7 pounds or 13 kilograms. Base experience yield is 78 in Gen 4 and 62 in 5+. Leveling raise, medium fast. EV yield is 1 and special defense. Shape is that. Footprint is that. Pokedex color is pink and base friendship is 70. Mime Jr. is a dual type psychic / fairy baby Pokemon introduced in Gen 4. Prior to Gen 6, it was a pure psychic type Pokemon. It evolves into Mr. Mime when leveled up while knowing Mimic. In Galar, Mime Jr. evolves into Galarian Mr. Mime when leveled up while knowing Mimic, which evolves into Mr. Rhyme starting at level 42. Cantonian Mr. Mime is not known to evolve into any other Pokemon. Biology, Mime Jr. is a small pink Pokemon with dark blue legs and a hat, which appears crooked and has a white ball on it. A red bump appears on its stomach, and a typical red clown nose appears on its face. It has slender arms and small hands. Mime Jr. has a knack for imitating others, though it is not very good at it. It can easily pick up the emotions of those around it and imitate them. It has been known to mimic its foes in order to create distractions. Once the foe is confused, it will quickly escape. In Galar, Mime Jr. tends to idolize and imitate its final evolved form, Mr. Rhyme, which are widely popular in the region for their talent in tap dancing. By practicing their dance steps, they eventually evolve into Galarian Mr. Mime. It likes places where many people gather and has often been seen visiting marketplaces filled with people. As mentioned in the Sleep Style Dex, Mime Jr. can be found sleeping on a pantomimed bed on rare occasions. Even when sleeping, Mime Jr. puts a lot of effort into mimicking its evolution Mr. Mime. Prior to Gen 6 and in Gen 8, Mime Jr. and its evolved form Mr. Mime were the only known Pokemon that could have Filter as an ability. Evolution, Mime Jr. evolves into Mr. Mime, so outside of Galar, Mime Jr., Mr. Mime. In Galar, it evolves into Galarian Mr. Mime, which evolves into Mr. Rhyme, so Mime Jr., Galarian Mr. Mime, Mr. Rhyme. Game data, NPC appearances, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team, and Blue Rescue Team. A possible reward for one of the toughest optional missions is a statue of Mime Jr. that is displayed outside the rescue base. Pokedex entries in Gen 4 and Diamond.
It habitually mimics foes. Once mimicked, the foe cannot take its eyes off this Pokemon. Pearl. It likes places where people gather. It mimics foes to confuse them, then makes its getaway. Platinum. It mimics the expressions and motions of those it sees to understand the feelings of others.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
In an attempt to confuse its enemy, it mimics the enemy's movements. Then it wastes no time in making itself scarce.
The Gen 5 Pokedex entries are Platinum's entry. In Gen 6, X is Heart Gold and Soul Silver's entry, Y is Diamond's entry, Omega Ruby is Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and X's entry, Alpha Sapphire is Diamond and Y's entry. In Gen 7, Ultra Sun,
it does its absolute best to mimic the movements and expressions of its opponents, but it's still not very good at it. Ultra Moon. When this gifted mimic surprises an opponent, Mime Jr. feels so happy that it ends up forgetting it was imitating something.
In Gen 8, Sword,
it mimics everyone it sees, but it puts extra effort into copying the graceful dance steps of Mr. Rhyme as practice.
Shield.
It looks for a Mr. Rhyme that's a good dancer and carefully copies the Mr. Rhyme's steps like an apprentice.
Brilliant Diamond.
It habitually mimics foes. The mimicked foe is said to be unable to look away from Mime Jr.
Shining Pearl is its Pearl counterpart, Legends Arceus.
Known to turn up in bustling marketplaces now and again, it mimics people much as a child would, then watches how they react, eyes sparkling.
Mime Jr. in the Alola Pokedex and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Game locations, side game locations, and events.
Held items in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it has the Lepa Berry 5% of the time. In Legends Arceus, for normal, it has the Chesto Berry 35% of the time. Spoiled Apricorn 15% of the time, and grid items by level. Alpha EXP Candy S 100% of the time. Seed of Mastery 10% of the time, and grid items by level. I still don't know how the math works. Stats, base stats, HP 20, attack 25, defense 45, special attack 70, special defense 90, speed 60 for a total of 310. Pokeathlon stats, type effectiveness, damage normally by normal, flying, ground, rock, bug, fire, water, grass, electric, ice, dark, and fairy. Weak to poison, ghost, and steel, all for double. Immune to dragon, resistant to fighting for a fourth, and psychic for half. Notes that this Pokemon is given a ring target. The effectiveness of dragon type moves is 1. So it would go from 0 to 1. If this Pokemon has Filter, the effectiveness of Poison type, Ghost type, and Steel type moves is 1.5. For all of them, it would be 1.5 instead of 2. In Gen 4 through 5, the effectiveness of Bug type, Ghost type, and Dark type moves is 1.5, so they would have been 1.5 instead of 2. Due to the conversion to Fairy type, the effectiveness of Dragon type, Steel type, and Poison type moves was 1, so Dragon went from 1 to 0, and Steel and Poison went from 1 to 2. Dark type and Bug type moves was 2, so both went from 2 to 1, and Fighting type moves was half prior to Gen 6. So that went from half to a fourth. Learn set by leveling up in Sword and Shield and Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. 1 Pound in Copycat, 4 Baton Pass, 8 Encore, 12 Confusion, 16 Roleplay, 20 Protect, 24 Recycle, 28 Psybeam, 32 Mimic, 36 Light Screen, Reflect, and Safeguard, 40 Sucker Punch, 44 Dazzling Gleam, 48 Psychic, and 52 Teeter Dance. In Legends Arceus, at 1 it learns Confusion and masters it at 10. At 6, it learns Hypnosis and masters it at 15. At 11, it learns Iron Defense and masters it at 20. At 18, it learns Zen Headbutt and masters it at 28. At 25, it learns Mimic and apparently doesn't master it. That's new. Level 34, it learns the move Psychic and masters it at 45. And at 43, it learns Calm Mind and masters it at 54. For the Buy TM/GR, since we read these in the Mr. Mime video, we'll be skipping all this. Same with the By Breeding. Both games. By tutoring, and Sword and Shield, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, there's nothing. In Legends Arceus, you can get Calm Mind, Charge Beam, Dazzling Gleam, Drain Punch, Icy Wind, Psychic Rest, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Zen Headbutt. By transfer from another generation, from 4 to 7, it can get Barrier, that doesn't work anymore. 4, it gets Captivate, that doesn't work anymore. 4 through 7, Charge Beam. 6 and 7, Confide. 5 through 7, Covet. 4 through 7, Double Slap, Double Team, and Dream Eater. Double Slap doesn't work anymore. 4 through 6, Flash. That doesn't work anymore. 4, 6, and 7, Focus Punch. 4 through 7, Frustration. That doesn't work anymore. 4, Headbutt. 4 through 7, Healing Wish and Hidden Power. Hidden Power doesn't work anymore. 6 and 7, Infestation. 4 through 7, Magic Coat and Meditate. Meditate doesn't work anymore. 4, Mudslap and Natural Gift. Natural Gift doesn't work anymore. 4 through 7, Psych Up and Return. Return doesn't work anymore. 4 and 6, Secret Power. That doesn't work anymore. 4, 6, and 7, Shockwave. 4 through 7, Signal Beam, Snatch, and Swagger. Signal Beam and Snatch don't work anymore. 5 and 7, Telekinesis. That doesn't work anymore. And 4 through 7, Torment, Toxic, and Wake Up Slap. Wake Up Slap doesn't work anymore. Side game data, you got all this. Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Olmia, in the browser entry. It launches strange auras to attack. It protects itself with a psychic barrier. Guardian Signs. It attacks by launching strange rings that make Pokemon stop. All this. Pokepark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure, in the Pokepark pad entry. Mime Jr. will give you some interesting stats. You'll find him in the treehouse. His favorite attraction is Rayquaza's Balloon Panic. Got all this. Pokemon Sleep. On rare occasions, it can be found sleeping atop a pantomime to bed. It's said that even in its sleep, Mime Jr. is putting its heart and soul into mimicking Mr. Mime, who can pantomime all sorts of things. Outflung Sleep, Upright Sleep, Barrier Bed Sleep, and Top Belly Sleep. Evolution data outside of Galar. Mime Jr. Level up knowing Mimic outside of Galar. Mr. Mime, Breed, holding the Odd Incense. In Galar, Mime Jr., level up knowing Mimic in Galar. Mr. Mime, Galarian form. Level 42, Mr. Rhyme. Breed, holding the Odd Incense for this one, and presumably that one as well. Sprites, so a lot darker colors. In my opinion, looks a lot better. So the shiny is green for the blue part, and that mimics the green parts on Mr. Mime. Oh, and the red parts are pink. Platinums, you've got this model here is a little different model. Not really much changes, though. In Gen 5, you get the fullback sprites. And I think maybe a slightly different sprite as well. In Gen 6, you get the models and the modern colors. Yep. These are like a purple now. That's interesting, because this, became like a pink. In Gen 7, not really much change. Looks like the eyes change a little bit. In Gen 8, you get the much better models, the Sword and Shield. Legends Arceus, you get these models. Homes, you get these models. Other sprites, Kiddo in Pokemon Super Contests. Mary in Pokemon Super Contests. Mime in Pokemon Super Contests. And Moppet in Pokemon Super Contests. So I assume these are all NPC Pokemon and in Pokemon Super Contests. In animation, Mime Jr. in Pokemon Journeys the Series. James's Mime Jr. is the big one. There we go. Pokedex entries in Advanced Generation, episode 147 in Ash's Pokedex. Mime Jr., the Mime Pokemon. It can quickly imitate anyone it sees. It can sense people's emotions as well. And when it senses danger, it will erect a barrier so it can escape. In the manga, Mime Jr. in Pokemon Adventures. Got all this in the TCG. Trivia, Mime Jr. is the only Pokemon with a catch rate of 145. Mime Jr. has the lowest base HP stat of all Psychic and Fairy-type Pokemon. Mime Jr. is the only baby Pokemon who was given the Fairy-type in Gen 6 that wasn't previously a normal type. It is also the only Fairy-type baby Pokemon introduced in Gen 4. Mime Jr. is the only Pokemon with two types whose primary type becomes its evolution's secondary type. This is only the case if it evolves into Galarian Mr. Mime, as regular Mr. Mime shares their exact typing with Mime Jr. Origin, Mime Jr. seems to be based on a toddler and a mime artist due to its mimicking behavior. It is also reminiscent of a clown due to its bright colors and big red nose. The blue growth on its head resembles a knit cap with ear flaps or a fool's cap worn by court jesters. Its fairy type and pointed hat may be inspired by various humanoid fairy tale creatures such as gnomes, dwarves, and elves. In folklore, the terms elves and fairies are sometimes used interchangeably. Its body shape also resembles a hand puppet or a doll. In Japanese folklore, inanimate objects that are possessed by spirits that come to life are known as Zukumogami. Mime Jr. is also reminiscent of an ice cream cone, with its pointy legs resembling a cone, its pink body and head resembling scoops of strawberry ice cream, its hat resembling a swirl of whipped cream, and its red nose and button resembling maraschino cherries. Name origin, Mime Jr. is derived from mime and the abbreviation of junior. Manane may be a combination of mane, mimicry, and the interrogative particle ne, similar to Bulbasaur's Japanese etymology, fushigi da ne. It could also be derived from nene, a Spanish term for baby. Now the languages, related articles, external links to the baby Pokemon. Let's move on.
Now let's watch the first scene in the anime featuring Mime Jr.
Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. In this film, all you really need to know is that we are in the town of Rota in this tournament. It's like a medieval themed town, and Lady Eileen has just been presented. Yes. There's Lady Eileen and her Mime Jr. Her maid. And that is Mime Jr.'s first scene in the anime. Let's move on.
Now let's see why other people love Mime Jr. Now let's look at fan art.
Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you who aren't familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain a Mime Jr. This is Mime Jr. Shiny Pokemon by Rachato's Anime. This nice Mime Jr. here, Shiny Mime Jr. Very well done. Then we've got Sold, Fantastic, April Adopt, Clowncore, Mime Jr., by Baby Ray Cutie, oh whoa, Clowncore, Mime Jr., Mole or Male? Oh, Male probably. This thing. Then we've got Mime Jr. Gen 1 style watercolor ink by Gabby Swizzo. This fun, very creepy art of Mime Jr. here, as if it would look like in the Gen 1 sprite style. Then we've got Anime Mime Jr. by Graham Raninia. It just looks like the official image of Mime Jr. here. That's interesting. SL Sunset Salutations by Dreamer Elfie. So this is apparently a Mime Jr. It's a Rift Mime Jr., whatever that means. We've got Duskull And Miss Maggie is. This one's all excited, and this one's kind of nervous. I guess they're being watched by Dartrix. Got Eevee with a hat. Then we got Maractus. And a Mincino here. Very interesting art. Then we've got Camino, James, Inkay, Morpeko, Mime Jr. by Mime Rocket. So I assume he had all these Pokemon. I know he had Mime Jr., so I assume he had these other two. So that's Mime Jr., Inkay, and Morpeko here. And there's James from Team Rocket, from the anime. The second image says, Happy Kojiro Day, 526. Maybe 526. May 26th, maybe. Then we've got Mime Jr. Pokemon by Retrato's anime. So just a normal one. I guess we saw the shiny one earlier, and that was just a normal one. Then we've got Mime Jr. by Danny My Brother. The sort of kind of simplified version on this like poster-like thing. Then we've got GPF 28. Smooch Jr., Smoochum plus Mime Jr. Fusion by Happy Appy 234,567. So this interesting fusion between Smoochum and Mime Jr. here. Smooch Jr. Amy Rose, I guess. I don't know. Very well done. And we've got Chibi James and Mime Jr. by Mime Rocket. So R. James and Mime Jr. This cute image of Chibi James from Team Rocket and his Mime Jr. And we've got MMDPK, Mime Jr., DL by Celeste C. Silvari. 4 regular Mime Jr. and this one shiny Mime Jr. And I don't know what, in like the circus area on this cloud or something? I don't really know what this is. Very, isn't that like, I don't know, this one's like taunting this one, I think? Or like this one's yelling at him, and I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Then we've got Mime Jr. by Fairy Dust 07. So regular and shiny Mime Jr. here. That's fun. Then we've got Sleep Style 0439 14 Mime Jr. by Philb. Philb. I got the Sleep Style of it being on the Snorlax. Number 439, Mime Jr., Psychic Fairy, Pokemon at Nintendo. Wallpaper by Zello Ego. Wallpaper by Zello Ego. This is James and Mime Jr. by Mime Rocket. So you've got James with pigtails for some reason, and Mime Jr. here. Very well done. And we've got James, Morpeko, Chimecho, Mime Jr. by Mime Rocket. So with Morpeko, Mime Jr., and Chimecho. He's like crying because he's reunited with Chimecho. It's cute. And we've got Chibi Extra, Mime Jr. by Ultimate Saiyan Eddie. So this, chibi looking Mime Jr. here, I guess. Mime Jr. line gained the Magic type by Eric GL 1996. So got Mime Jr., Magic Fairy type, then Galarian, Mr. Mime, Ice Psychic type, Mr. Rhyme, Ice Psychic type, and Mr. Mime, Magic Fairy type, and then I guess Mr. Prime, they're some sort of fan evolution. It's Magic Fairy, interesting. We've got James and Mime Jr. by Mime Rocket, so this another cute image of James and Mime Jr. Very interesting. This is Moochum Jr., Smoochum plus Mime Jr. Fusion by Happy Appy 234,567. So it's kind of maybe more the reverse of what the other one was. It was maybe focused more on the Mime Jr. design. This one's more focused on the Smoochum design. Then we got James Sepia Top, Mime Jr. Iako by Mime Rocket. So it's with his Mime Jr., his Chimecho, and his Inkay. Very interesting. And we got Anthro Poke Fusions closed by the King Theory. So I guess this first one is a fusion between Basculin and Torcat, where it's more also anthropomorphized. And this one's fusion between Weasel and Quaquaval. We've got 3 is a mix between Umbreon, Mime Jr., and Heliolisk. The 4th one is a combination of Lucario and Drampa. Very interesting. And we've got Furret and Mime Jr. Adopt Open by Goshuin. So it's an interesting fusion between Mime Jr. and Furret here. It's kind of cute. Is Mime Jr. Cute by Terra 012, is this character cute? It's the image of Mime Jr. from the anime. This doesn't contain a Mime Jr., so move on.
Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I'll be streaming tonight on my gaming channel at 10 p.m. CDT, Central Daylight Time, where I'll be beginning Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'll be trying to get Trico, Mudkip, Camerupt, and Beldum, Catch, Kakuna, Pidgeotto, Slowpoke, Sableye, Sharpedo, Swablu, Snorunt, Bagon, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Deoxys, and Baniri, and evolve Trico all the way to Sceptile, Mudkip all the way into Swampert, Kakuna into Beedrill, Pidgeotto into Pidgeot, Slowpoke into Slowbro, Swablu into Altaria, Snorunt into Glalie, Bagon all the way to Salamence, Beldum all the way to Metagross, and Baniri into Lopunny. And Mega Evolve, Sceptile, Swampert, Beedrill, Pidgeot, Slowbro, Sableye, Sharpedo, Camerupt, Altaria, Glalie, Salamence, Metagross, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, and Lopunny. But wait a minute, I have 2 3DS now, which means I can try to get all these Pokemon too. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about Happiny. As always, this isn't my proper outfit, and see me tomorrow.